Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the amusement park. And on this particular video, I'm starting a series that I started a while back concerning critical thinking. How do you teach critical thinking? How do you implement common sense? And so, in my research of trying to find out how to do those things, I came across some key questions and some information that before you can do critical thinking, you kind of got to have this information on deck. Hold on. I was saying there's some base knowledge that you could use before coming into or diving into common sense, right? For me, that is pointing directly to you are the center of the world from your perspective, because it is through your understanding, perception, and awareness that the entire world presents itself. You can only see through your eyes and think through your brain. Even if you can put yourself in other people's shoes, you still can't see through their eyes. So, with that, before you can come up with common sense practices and things of that nature, you need to understand that most of that has to do with your ability to make decisions. And it is my experience and my research that the best decision is an informed, INFORMED, informed decision. And an informed decision is a choice made after thorough understanding and consideration of the available information, the potential outcomes, the risks, and the benefits. Let's say that again. An informed decision is a choice made after you do a thorough investigation so that you can gain an understanding and appreciate the considerations of the available information, the potential outcomes, the potential risks, and the potential benefits. Making an informed decision requires critical thinking. So it's a ladder, a system of sorts, and it also involves analysis and often consultation with experts or trusted sources. Now, if you don't have those experts or trusted sources, you simply have to continue your research, your understanding, and your exploration for those bits of information, the potential outcomes, the potential risks, and the potential benefits on your own, making yourself the expert. Because sometimes some of us go through things where there is no guru to assist, there is no expert to refer to. We are the ones walking the path for the first time ourselves. We can't defer to anyone else because we don't identify with those that they call experts. That was my experience. So, doing this and making those things a part of your exploration is the process of making an informed decision. It is a very deliberate and systemic method of gathering information, looking for outcomes, risks, and benefits, and ensuring that the decision maker is fully aware of the consequences of their choices. That whole summary is what an informed decision includes. That entire summary is a leg or the foundation for critical thinking. And it is important because It is through your own exploration of information and considerations that clarity is gained. So I'm telling you this information because hopefully I can inspire you to imagine, learn, grow, share, and maybe even develop your own system. Because the experts are only experts because they continue to think past what was given. And that's how new things, considerations, or areas of thought are developed, is because someone continued to think past the questions that were given, or the questions that were given bubbled up additional questions in those who were seeking clarification for various points of information. So there are some key components to information gathering or informed decision making. Now, I have identified 5 different areas that making an informed decision and gathering information and things of that nature, the key components of informed decision. So, 1, information gathering. 2, critical analysis of information that has been gathered. 3, consultation. That's if you have that. It may even be you don't have an expert, but you bounce ideas off of a trusted person, source, or someone close to the information that you are evaluating. And 4, deliberation. That means taking time to reflect. I'll go into each one of these a little more deeper. But 5 is then making the decision based on the previous 4. So, for information gathering, which was number 1, that's what your primary goal is, to go out and find examples, collect accurate, relevant, and comprehensive data from various sources, ensuring that the information is up to date, reliable, and something you can get behind, something you believe in, something that rings true for you. And understand that objective truth and subjective truth are 2 different things, but you're entitled to all of them. Okay. 2, critical analysis. Evaluating the information to understand its significance and implications, and weighing the pros and cons of the different options that you've gathered. So you gather the data. Now you look at this data. You combine it. You start to look at the components, see if there are any collective themes, any connections that can be made, any other questions that will require you to maybe look for additional information. Critical analysis may take you back to step 1 if you're being honest with yourself, or if you're being honest with the data. And when I say data, that means if I'm looking to find out, which I am, the currency of life. Life runs on an energy field. And in this new aged world, I'm hearing a lot about raise your vibration and be in alignment. All of that sounds really good. But raise my energy to what? What am I, as opposed to where? It made me have questions, and in those questions I have more questions. And so critical analysis of the information that I gathered with my initial question made me go back to collecting additional data. Now, here's the part where you can get a little turned around. You can have an infinite amount of questions that will maybe even keep you in the loop of just data collecting, instead of going on to number 3, which is consultation. Seek advice or input from experts, stakeholders, or those affected by the decision. So once again, it doesn't have to be a guru or anything like that, especially for if it's for a less traveled path or a line of questioning that only you are broaching or investigating. That's fine. But you can also speak to those who may be affected by the decision or by the situation, circumstances, knowledge, or events found in your original information gathering. Also, consider diverse perspectives to avoid bias. That means even if you don't agree or you don't really want to include someone else's anti what you're looking for, you still have to keep them into consideration to make sure that you're not guiding, steering, or misrepresenting your data, because that is done a lot and that would be a bias. After you move on, so we've covered the information gathering, the critical analysis, the consultation, and now deliberation, taking the time to reflect on the options and their potential outcomes. This is now that we've talked to some people, we've gathered the information, we've asked questions, we maybe gathered additional information. Now we are starting to find out how this information may or may not have or have not affected others, both on the affirming side and anti, or going against what we are looking for. We include those because they are a portion of the picture for information. Information is, it does not have a bias. Information is. It's what we do with the information that forms the bias. And then you avoid rushing or making impulsive decisions or conclusions based on the first three. You got to keep going. So you have to keep talking, reflecting, and then we get to number 5, which is decision making. Now, once you have made sure that you include various perspectives, multiple streams of information, you've conferred or consulted, you've done 1 through 4, which once again is gathering information, critical analysis, which is a form of questioning, and categorizing. Then you'll do a consultation by those affected, stakeholders, experts, or those who may have gone before you, maybe family members. It could be anyone, anywhere. You don't need to have a PhD to speak knowledgeably about a particular topic. Learn that the hard way. Deliberation, and that means take everything from 1, 2, and 3 and sit with it. Reflect on it and think about what could come of it. And write down, if I may even suggest, write down your possible trajectories based on 1 through 3. That's what you do during deliberation. And then finally, making the decision, making a choice based on the gathered information and the appropriate amount of analysis. And this process should not be rushed because you want it to be as truthful, objectively truthful, and honest as possible. Because objectively truthful and honest findings are challenging to dispute at times. Also, you want to ensure that this decision aligns with your personal goals, values, and or organizational objectives. So that is the 5 key components to making an informed decision. And the reason why we spent so much time on that is because making an informed decision is at the very foundation of critical thinking. This lecture and these lectures coming after this will be to continue on speaking about critical thinking, how to get there, why it's important, and where you can apply it. You can apply critical thinking at the market, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in traffic, with a loved one, at school. There is nowhere in your life that critical thinking, besides your spiritual life, you need to get out of the thought. But if it has something to do with the physical world and your interaction with that, critical thinking is almost non negotiable. So, that's it for this lecture. Again, my name is Carla. Well, thank you for sticking around for that small snippet. I tried to make the video under 20 minutes, and I think I did just that. I hope to see you in the next video where we start talking about why is it important to make an informed decision. Until next time, stay amused and let me inspire you to do the same.